Hey, family. Hey, family. Y'all know what time it is. This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. I just want to say this, family. Today, on Wednesdays, basically every day, not just Wednesdays, but I like to call Wednesdays. I'm sorry. I like to call Wednesdays my uh wait a minute, I'm looking at my Walmart order. I like to call Wednesdays my uh 12 step spiritual journey, mission, and purpose. And I shared that not too long ago, right, on one of my clips. Uh, as a recovering addict, okay, as a recovering addict with 33 years clean. And for a lot of y'all, keep in mind, I sponsor men and I sponsor women. Most of the men and the women that I sponsor have moved on with their lives. And when I say that, they came around, they got their lives together. Some of them started businesses. Some of them went into the ministry. Some of them, they just doing well. You get me? That's all I'm basically saying. So we will talk whenever we need to, call each other, how you doing? Happy birthday, how's the family, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of us, when we started out 33 years ago, in my case, only had one daughter. But now I have two daughters and a son. So look, when I started out 33 years ago, all of us, our children was children. But now our children have children. So I am proud, and I can say this right, because I am very, very proud of the people whose lives that I have helped change. Not that I changed, God changed. They just asked for the help. And that's why I come on, family, and I do what I do. I shared on my live, my other live. I still go to NA meetings. I don't go like I used to, but like I used to do the 90 and do 90 minutes, 90 meetings in 90 days. And you did so many meetings. Now that I have done the necessary work on myself, and I know how to go in myself, and I know how to do a 10-step inventory of myself. And for a lot of y'all in Baltimore City that looked at my behaviors, and my behaviors might have been a little erratic to y'all, or I was wilding out to y'all, no. I don't deal with no mental issues like bipolar, schizophrenic, personalities disorder. No. Now, the reason why I want to share this with y'all, as a person with the working knowledge of the 12 steps, for a lot of y'all that don't understand, we do work on ourselves. We know how to go inside and look at ourselves and actually evaluate our own selves. And in a sense, I'm going to say this. That's why I say my 12-step spiritual journey. We know how to heal ourselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. A lot of people don't know how to do that. That's why it's called self-help. So we know how to go inside of ourselves. That's where that 10th step inventory comes in at. That's where prayer and meditation comes in at. But I am going to be honest with y'all, because I had to take a real good look at my life, Baltimore City. I was acting like a damn fool. I was like, but a lot of y'all know, oh, congratulations. A lot of y'all know in Baltimore City, once I became a community activist, right? Once I became a community organizer, once I became a civil rights advocate, and once I became a part of Communities United, and I started seeing the corruption and I started seeing the bull crap, not with all of our politicians. That's what I was mad about. Y'all didn't really know. I was hurt because once I realized how they use us, how they play us, and my voice became my biggest weapon. But Baltimore City, that was my way of speaking up for us. And y'all took it personal. Y'all took it personal. But it wasn't for y'all. Basically, it was geared towards the ones that we voted into position. And they wasn't doing what, to me, what I felt like, and with the organizations that I was with, not that I was with, but I still get with from time to time, because I'm with the ACLU now. And I'm talking about Communities United. Anytime, if they need me to come and help support a bill, I got their back. Because 9 times out of 10, if y'all don't know what Communities United is about, they fight for the democracy of the Black people here in Baltimore City. So a lot of y'all might not have known. I would go to City Hall. We would go to City Hall. We would go to Annapolis. We would go to DC. On January the 6th, the Republican Party that I became a part of went to that rally on January the 6th when they broke out the way they did. And I called Christopher Anderson and them, and I told them, I said, I hope y'all wasn't a part of that bullcrap. I was going to go, but something happened where I wasn't able to go over there to do a protest, but not based around Trump. Whatever I do, Baltimore City, is for the people, not the pilot, not the president. Let me make it simple. Try to make it simple. And that was one of the problems, man, the Republicans had. Because I wasn't kissing boots and all that stuff like them. Be honest with y'all, they told me I couldn't be a part of the group no more. So I said, bye. You gonna tell me I gotta kiss his butt? I am a Republican, but not because of him. It's because of what the Republicans stand for. And to be honest with y'all, they're no different than the Democrats. They're no different. They're politicians. Some believe in helping the people, some don't care the hell about you. So I'm telling y'all from what I know and what I see, they talk a good game until you vote them in. And like I said, you do got some of them. And I'm going to say this name right here. Don Cox is really for the people. I can say that. Don Cox, and he's running for governor this time. But I'm going to tell you this, Westmore is great for the people as well. Don't fall for the hype family. He's a God-fearing man. Don't fall for that other bull jump. Westmore goes to Dante Hickman Church. Dante Hickman came from under my pastor. They done got quite a few churches that they opened that y'all probably don't even know about. Quite a few facilities that they opened to help the inner city people. So a lot of y'all bad-mouthing people that you don't know really nothing about. But guess what? Keep in mind, y'all, they can only do what they can with the information that they have. You get me? And that's what I started understanding. That's why I had to start being nicer to our politicians, family, because I realized they all have somebody to answer to up top. It just goes up. And in order for you to have a position And to find peace within your position, sometimes it's like this. And to be honest with y'all, that's why I like Steve Copeland. Because be honest, I ain't got to answer to nobody. I ain't got to kiss nobody but like I see a lot of y'all doing just to be with them, shaking their hands, taking pictures. Come on, y'all know I done all that. But my thing is the people. So when you hear me talking about my 12-step spiritual journey, and you hear me say I'm a God-fearing man, I'm not talking about I'm a devil-liking man. I did not say that, did I? Did I say I like evil? Oh, I love evil. I love hurting. I love pain. I love chaos and confusion. That's not what God is about. So look at yourself. That's why when I talk about my 12-step spiritual journey, that's why when I talk about I'm a follower, I am a lover of Jesus Christ. I'm a follower. I am a lover of Jesus Christ. What do Philippians 2nd chapter says? Verses 1 through 11. It talks about emulating Christ's humility. If you gain the relationship with him. Now, I might have said to gain a relationship in wrong words to y'all that verbatim, but it's the same. If you have learned to gain a relationship with Christ, you be like-minded. You emulating his humility, being loving, kind, considerate, thoughtful, caring. That's why when I tell y'all a Christian, I'm a Christian. I'm not saying I'm a religious person. I'm talking about my character. I'm talking about my personality. But what I begin to understand in this journey too, I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. But I can also get angry. I can also get upset. So when I read the part about Jesus going into the synagogue and turning the table over, I was like, oh my God, he was human. Because I'm looking at the person, right? The individual. He got mad and he flipped the table over. I was like, oh my God. He was a human being. And I'm talking about the creator himself had become human in flesh. I was like, oh my God. Now, a lot of y'all might not see that, and that's not my problem, right? If that's not what you see, I ain't talking about your religion. Because through your studying, through your doctrine, if you have not, because it's in scripture, if you have not personally seen that for yourself, you still asleep. You still asleep. Wait a minute, Tari. You still asleep. And understand this. I am not pushing. As a religious man, a man that grew up in the Baptist church, I'm not trying to push, that religion on you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I already know by the creator, and I'm talking about the creator himself that created everything, even you. Jesus Christ is not the only way that God deals with his people. Now, if I'm reading the Bible, don't get it wrong. If I'm reading the Holy Scriptures, that's what the Scriptures tell me. So yes, when it comes to me through Jesus Christ. But as I begin to grow and I started understanding more, God deals with his people in his own special way. And I was like, oh my God, I came out of that box. You get me? That religious box. If you believe in the Father, you believe in the Son, and you believe in the Holy Spirit. And know what? I did not know that Trinity is not written in the Bible. I did not know. Because that's what we talk about, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I did not know that until I heard Geno Jennings. And he said that it wasn't written in the Bible. So some people don't believe in the Trinity, even though they believe in the Creator. Or, in a sense, I'm going to put it like this, and I know y'all know and understand, it's only one God. It's only one God, one faith, one baptism. Then it's how he deals with you. And that's what I begin to understand throughout my journey. That's why when y'all hear me say my 12-step spiritual journey, I'm not talking about your 12-step spiritual journey. Now, if you want to share your 12-step spiritual journey with me, please do. I would love for you to share with me how God works in your life. You get me? Or how the Spirit works in your life. But don't push. Do you see how my hand's going? If you're Muslim, if you're a Hebrew Israelite, if you're Morse American, if you are a Jew, if you are a I was gonna say ordained, but I'm just trying to think of some of the religions, you know what I mean? Catholic, you know, Lutheran. If that's where you at, that's fine. Just share with me how the information that you know or you have learned, how you use that to better your life. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear about you telling me how he worked with Moses back then, because I know how he worked with Moses. I know how he worked with King David. I know how he worked with Isaiah. I know how he worked with Jeremiah. I know how he worked with Zephaniah. I know how he worked with Habakkuk. I know how he worked with them in scripture. The same people he worked with in scripture, guess what? This one of them in your face. One of them in your face. Right now. It's the Holy Spirit that inspires me, empowers me to share my experience. And when I say my experience, I'm talking about my old testimony. When I share with y'all how I used to use and how I used to try to sell and how I used to do that, I'm talking about the old stuff. Talking about my old testimony. I don't want people to know my business, whatever I did it for, I did blah, 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 blah. But you want to talk about God has been good to me. And we know God been good to you because of what you said. But can you tell us how some of that goodness he been? Because do you know how ridiculous some of y'all sound? Knowing that he reached down, turned your life around, and you don't want to share that's selfish and self-centered. When you don't want to share how great he is. When you don't want to share how awesome he is. But you want to keep it to yourself. That's some selfish and self-centered bullcrap. That's why they call me the big mouth man. I don't have to be behind no mic to speak. I get very loud. And a part of me is joy in the inside. It's compassion in the inside. For me to sit back and talk the way I talk and talk about it with courage, with confidence, with boldness, with security. But y'all are label it unhealthy. Stop doing that. That's you. But I ain't trying to be egoish. I'm not trying to be this. And I pray and I ask God. The goal is not to allow, for me, it ain't me asking him, it's for me, not to allow my pride and my ego in a negative way get in his way. You get me? And when I say that, I'm talking about like using it to belittle you or to discourage you or to make you feel less than. That's not Steve Copeland. Whenever you see my pride, whenever you see my ego, whenever you see me talking about how God used me for such and such and such and such and such, and it sounds selfish and self-centered, yes. Because I had to humble myself for him to use me. You don't understand what that is? I had to humble myself. Say, God, use me. Make me out to be the man you want me to be. Strengthen me. Encourage me. Empower me. You got to look at yourself. That's why a lot of people, right, they know they've been called to the ministry. You get me? A lot was called to the ministry. A lot of them disobey that calling because they are afraid that they might not succeed. I know that because guess what? It was a point in my life where I wanted to run. And if I'm not careful to this day, it will become a point in my life where I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. Come on. So I had to pray for his strength. I had to pray for his courage. I had to pray for his power to go do what he called me to do. And you know why I'm saying this, family? Because I had to look this stuff up. Because every time I say stuff out my mouth, y'all want to judge me. Do y'all realize the courage, the confidence, the boldness that it takes? Because I know what I come up against. So I understand, and it's not to knock a lot of people, don't get it wrong, why you're afraid to step up. I know. Either you serving good or you're serving evil. Choose this day who you gonna serve. Either you're serving good or righteousness, or you serving evil, corruption. If it ain't about Christ, it's about evil. If it's not about good and righteousness and glorifying the Father, it's about glorifying that other one. So a person like me, who know where I'm at in Christ, you can't play that. You can't play that. You can't play that. So don't get mad when I talk about my spiritual journey. Don't get mad when I talk about religion versus spirituality. Okay? Because I understand the difference between the two. Now I didn't at one point, but I understand today. I understand that spirit that hovered through the universe, actually reading up on some other stuff, it said it was the Holy Spirit. Because it talks about the Spirit of the Lord that hovered through the universe. I asked people, I said, what came out that spirit? The Spirit of the Lord hovered through the universe. What came out that spirit? They get quiet. I said it was words. He spoke everything into existence, right? So once you read about how the spirit hovered through the universe, and I'm going to say everything was without form, right? It was words that came out of it. So when I look at the spirit and I look at the words, I said, oh my God, God is his word. He spoke everything into existence. The word, the spoken word, which became the written word, had become the living, breathing word. I was like, oh my God. And I'm saying this because I don't ever want nobody to be confused. Whatever you read and study and the Bible, and I'm talking about the Holy Scriptures, it's not to add to the word family, and it's not to take away. You get me? But as time went on, I started asking little questions like, Lord, what do this really mean? Or what do that really mean? But I started doing cross references. Y'all don't hear a lot of people talk about that. So certain scripture or passage you might read, if you don't have a clear understanding of it, you can get the commentary, right? Or you can do cross references. And what that did, that helped me to better understand that one little verse or that chapter, what it really means. I'm not saying nobody is wrong, but what it did, it just opened things up a little bit bigger, or wider, or brighter. And it helped me to understand a little bit more than I did like yesterday. You get me? That's all I'm saying, family. But what I learned in this process, and I'm going to just say, as a lover of Christ, whatever you read and whatever you study, you getting an understanding of history and back during that time and how God worked with them, things like that, the laws of the land, the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments are there, but the 5 books of Moses are the laws that's breaking down from the 10 commandments and what to do and what not to do. I hope a lot of y'all know and understand that. Now, constitutional wise, they will tell y'all because they don't want to make it like a religious thing. So the laws of the lands are basically the 5 books of Moses that has been broken down from the 10 commandments that they apply to life today. You can use that type of information to enslave and oppress the people, keep your foot on their necks, or you can use it to inspire and motivate and encourage the people to move on and stand up for the things that they want out of life, which you have to work for it. You got to break that slave man mentality. Now understand, I didn't understand a lot of this at first. I didn't understand a lot more of this. And I'm a community, I'm a community activist. I'm a civil rights advocate. I didn't understand a lot of that, for a while. But to be truthful with y'all, when my butt got locked up 3 years ago, it'll be 3 years in March, March next month, right? It'll be 3 years in March, right? And God took me from Genesis on up to Revelations. And what God showed me in that process, family, and I don't care what none of y'all say, what you study, what continent we supposed it came from, Africa this, South Alabama that, I don't give a freak about that. If you got all that information, that's good. I just don't have it. But I like to hear it. You get me? I love to hear it. I just don't have all that. But it's learning for me when I listen to y'all. I'll be like, God dang, you know all that? Wow. I know a little bit of stuff. Enough to make my point when it comes to dealing with the politicians. You get me? Because everything I do, family, it's not coming for y'all. Coming for these goddamn people that tend to want to hinder us. You know what I mean? All right. So look, until 3 years ago, when God took me to Deuteronomy, no, Exodus, I'm sorry, because I keep saying Deuteronomy. I apologize. When God took me to Exodus, when he told Moses, go tell Pharaoh, I said, let my people go. He was trying to enslave the Hebrew Israelites, right? So God sent Moses to tell them, let them go. They're not your people. They're my people. What do we say today as civil rights advocates? What do we say today as community activists, community organizers, homeless advocates, human rights advocates? Who are we telling today? God said, let my people go. Mainly when they oppressing them, when they enslaving them. If you have ways and means for the people to be more independent, where they won't have to rely on the state and government funding as much, then help create these programs, these workshop development programs, these apprenticeship programs to better educate the people than keeping them depressed or oppressed. Depressed is there too. I didn't understand this a lot more until I got arrested 3 years ago. And I started seeing, God showed me this on my 12-step spiritual journey. Steve, you'll go just like the rest of them. They are enslaving and oppressing my people. And I found out they not all black. Christ came back, and this is what the guy told me, right? I got kind of pissed. He said, Christ, this Hebrew Israelite said, Christ came back to redeem them back to the Father. So I said, oh, so he ain't come back for us? So what you saying? And he was reading my Bible. I wanted to take my Bible from him so bad, right? You mean to tell me Christ only came back for y'all? He said, yup. I'm like, right? But I understood when I went back in it and God brought it together that it started back then. Even when Pharaoh told the midwives to do what? With the firstborn males. What did he tell the midwives? Take them down. Unalive them. What's happening to a lot of our young black or melanated men all the way still up to this day? So when y'all go back and y'all want to talk about Roe versus Wade, and y'all want to go back and talk about certain little things like 1619, when y'all want to go back and you want to talk about 1591, when you go back and understand black people was already here, all right? Even before they went, so-called. Suppose they went to Africa and brought them over here to America. And if they did, they went and they kidnapped them from another country because they knew if they brought them from another country, they couldn't just run away. It was already black people here that was working the lands. They had to pay them. Did y'all read that up? It was already black people here getting paid for working the farms. So the point of bringing the slaves was able to get the job done for a cheaper price or in a cheaper way, and in some cases for free. That's what labor is. I mean, that's what slavery is. It's called cheap labor. But y'all know your history, right? It was already black people here working the farms and stuff like that. White people was working the farms too. But then they found a way to get it done for basically, I always say, half the price at a cheaper rate. But understand this, they still had to feed them, they had to clothe them, they had to take care of them in order for them to do the jobs. Some of them starved, yes. A lot of them got whipped, yes. They didn't have nowhere to run because if they did come from Africa, they would have ran. And if it was still in Africa, they would have ran from the farms. A lot of them did. Y'all know that, right? But they was lost in America. Y'all get me when you want to quote stuff from the past, but how far have you dug up deep in it? And if you don't want to go that far, right, look at what's happening right now. See, I ain't got to go back to Roe versus Wade. I ain't got to go back to 1964. I ain't got to go all the way back there. I'm just looking at what's happening now. And the whole thing with that, as a man of God, how can we break that cycle? How can we slow it down? Well, let's talk about strengthen the community. What's up, Alfonso? Let's talk about strengthen the community. Let's talk about a new Be More city, rebuilding our communities. Come on, those are websites, those are Facebook pages I have. Let's talk about the men of integrity, the ones that I know that's in Baltimore City doing a great job with the business that they have, nonprofits and stuff like that. Alfonso Blackstone, just to think about it, he just came up. This guy deals with a lot of our homeless and less fortunate individuals and families. He's right there beside Christina Flowers. And one thing I love about this young man, he's about the people, no matter what. And that's the same things I can say about Christina Flowers, even though I had to love her from a distance, but that's still my baby. She over there, where she at, I'm over here. I still respect whatever everybody do. Cherie Rogers, all of y'all not love y'all. God just start moving us and like, okay, Cherie do what she do here. Christina do what she do here. Alfonso does what he does here. You do what you do over there, Steve. But I can tell you when it comes to the homeless and less fortunate people, they do not play. They do not play. I can tell you all that now. I can tell you that. Mainly Alfonso, because Alfonso down there with them, trying to make sure they get the proper medical care help that they need and all of that. Making sure they get the proper food. I know this young man. I know what he do. Been knowing him for years. When I met Christina, been knowing him for years, and I know where his heart is at. But now, in me saying all of this, family, I had to look at how God started using me. And I'm going to say this one more time to Baltimore City. I forgot who said y'all gave me that name as the big mouth, bald head black dude. But it was given to me as an insult. But I carry it with a badge of honor. Okay? And it's not towards y'all, Baltimore City as a whole. It's to our goddamn politicians. It's not y'all. Because I'm not arguing with y'all. It's our goddamn politicians. But the reason why I'm saying that Baltimore, because right now, I call Brandon Scott, my nephew. Antonio Hayes in the 7th District, I grew up with his mother and his father. So I'm really proud of him. He's the senator for the 7th District. I call him nephew as well. James Torrance, I call him nephew as well. And I told James Torrance when he won his seat, I said, I'm going to be nice to you. I'm not going to come hard at you like I did the rest of them. You get me, family? So I see them in the community. I see the work that they are doing. But then I also see, y'all might not see it, everybody have somebody that they have to answer to. And that's what I started seeing. That's one of the reasons why I backed up Baltimore City and try not to come real hard for them now, the way I used to. Because I realized somebody got to answer to somebody. The difference with me, I'm independent. And when I say that, because of my LLC, because of the Couch Talk, because of the Teen Talk Show, I can run off at my goddamn mouth. Because they don't pay me. I don't get paid. I don't kiss their butt to get along with them. So they know when Steve comes, it's what we can do to like slow this down. what we can do to put a stop to that. A lot of y'all know we fought for that spy plane over Baltimore City. And that was to help reduce the murder rate in Baltimore City by Pew Pew, right? Back in 2017, we had 343. I just looked it up again the other day because I could not believe it. It's supposed to be down now to like 133. And that's by Pew Pew. I got to say Pew Pew for TikTok's sake, right? But it's the gun violence, right? It's 130 something now. That's the lowest it's been in about 50 years. They reported that. Now, when I look at that, and I'm gonna say this to all of y'all, and I know you understand, Alfonso. Even though Brandon Scott doing the best he can, Governor Westmore doing the best he can, Ivan Bates is doing the best he can, all of them are doing the best they can. And I'm talking about our local leaders and politicians, even Baltimore City Police Department. All of them doing the best they can. But they cannot do this without Van Brooks, Damon Cooper, Joe Gamble, Mayo Alfonso, Umar, Manure, Lisa Cooper, Lisa, Cherie Rogers, Kim Trueheart, Squeaky. I even got Stephen Copeland Jr. On this list. Uncle T, Rock, Sean. And if y'all don't know who Sean is, Sean works with the city. Sean worked at the mayor office. I think he ran for delegate and he's running for another council seat now. That's the one that works with the youth a lot. We, ours, us. B Moore's Real Teen Talk. Y'all know that's my teen talk, huh? Curlin White. Shelly Stefani. Up Emerson. Roland Hall. DJ Steve. Roland Hall again because he works with the girls basketball team. Dr. Andre Humphrey. Pastor Shannon Wright. Dr. Hathaway. Bishop Carrington. Bishop Jerome Carrington. That's my pastor. Giovanni Patterson. Christopher Anderson. Dan Cox and the Innocent Project. I got about 40 lists of people that I know that's in Baltimore City, other than the police department, that's doing great work to slow a lot of this down. So y'all can't tell me that Baltimore City haven't changed. It's a slow process, family, but we are doing a great job. I commend them. And it's more out there that I need to put on this list. So when I start calling their names out, and a lot of y'all in Baltimore City know exactly who they are. A lot of y'all. And the reason why I said I'm proud of them, because from time to time, watch what they do. They will come together, they'll meet at Harlem Park. They will meet, I'm trying to think of these other little parks that they meet at, right? Just to support each other. We're doing fun, you know, community stuff all together. I'll be like, wow. And then you got your politicians there. And it'll make it look like the politicians have a major part in what they're doing. No, they just showing up for the accolades. And it's okay. You know why? Because they're honoring the people that's actually doing what they do to help them slow a lot of this stuff down. That's why I had to read that list. That's why, as a recovering addict, as a person that understands the working knowledge of the 12 steps, the 12 traditions, and the 12 concepts of NA is what I use to run my LLC. The 12 steps. The traditions is the laws, the rules. the regulations. You break them, you get punished. They're not to be broken. Same thing with the politicians. They can set rules, they can set laws to destroy your life, and they can do it to enhance your life. Y'all didn't. If I pronounced it right, because y'all know I jack a word up quick, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? And I help them understand what we can do. Those that want to help make changes. And believe me, some of them do. That's all I can say with that, right? Because I'm sitting right there and I'm looking at it. Those that can, gonna do what they can. Those that can, sometimes will sell your butt out, not to see certain things getting done. And I know who they are too, but guess what? It goes with the game. I didn't understand that till Bishop Carrington told me. He said, Steve, good and evil. Because I'm like, I don't know why they ain't doing it otherwise. He said, Steve, all of it goes together. You got your good side, which we talking about the system and stuff. Good and evil. Good and evil. Real simple. Real simple. Good and evil. You got your good side, you got your bad side. What side you gonna choose? So I choose to serve the right way or the righteous side. You get me? The right side. I know what it is to live that deceitful way of life. But just for today, just for today, February the 25th, 2026. I choose to serve Jesus Christ. He walked the streets when he came on this earth, right? He went into the inner city communities. He encouraged them. He empowered them to support each other. When they said Jesus fed the 5,000, 2 fish, 3 loaves of bread? And the way my pastor broke that down, when they travel, normally when people travel, they pack food. They pack clothes. And they traveled with them. Those that had more than others, those that ran out of food, and those that had food, fish was plentiful. Fish was plentiful. So that wasn't the problem. The bread, they baked. So that wasn't the problem. But what Jesus did, he got them to help each other. I was like, what? That's why when it said Jesus fed the 5,000, what do? We come into the community. We give out donations. We give out food, clothing, all of that. What I tell y'all, and y'all already know, when it comes to getting donations, that's not a problem. Food, clothing, furniture, that's not a problem. And y'all know that when it comes to me, that is not a problem. I drove the tractor trailer. So I know warehouses that got this stuff plentiful to give back. So that's not a problem. It's getting that goddamn money from y'all. And I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about the ones with money to help our homeless, people and build back up in the community. That's what I'm talking about on that larger scale. But it can be done. And I know it's going to be done because it's being done. It's being done. When I look at Bree Jones came from New York. She's here rehabbing and revitalizing houses. I said, I'm next. We was all at a meeting together. I'm next. Met some great people here, and I'm talking about developers. They a little bit lighter than me. A lot lighter than, we might be the same color. Just my beard is black, right? Come on. You got to surround yourself with the right people. Y'all know how that thing go. Come on, Baltimore City. Y'all know how it go. So just to let y'all know, God was preparing me anyway. Even though I had to look at it like the wilding out thing, right? The wilding out. And I said, that's me. That's me. But I prayed Baltimore City. I'm gonna let y'all know, and I want y'all to feel better. Lord, please help me to be more humble. I did. I'm like, God, because I know I can be a total jerk. But it's not to say an egg hole, but when I come, and y'all know, when I come hard. And I'm like, I don't want to keep coming like that. I don't want to scare people away, you get me? I want them to gravitate more to me. And when you sitting at a community meeting, and that's when they had the opioid, the fentanyl epidemic on northern Pennsylvania, right? And the first community meeting they gave was around on Francis Street. And I'm sitting right there with the scientists, the doctors, and all that, because we had broke it down into certain groups, right? And I sat in one group, and I'm sitting there like this, and I looked around. Brandon Scott was right here beside me. Now he was sitting, I was close near the stage where they preach at. So he came and sat right there beside me. And I'm sitting basically like this. That might not matter to none of y'all. But to have your mayor just recognize you like that, know what you're about. You get me? To have the senator. Now, I grew up in the 7th district, so that's basically where I'm at to help it grow again, right? To have Antonio Hayes right there. But when I was sitting there and just Brandon Scott came over and sat right there, I just felt real honored, family. Because I know with my mouth, and when it come to us, I can go. Right? And it's not about the cursing and all that stuff when I'm dealing with them. When I speak out, it's not about cursing. You got to keep it some decorum there, right? But when it come on like this, I can go because I feel more myself. And it'll help people understand that's into politics. When they hear me speak on this level, but they don't hear it when we out, but they hear it on this level, they know he's not somebody to be joking with. He's not somebody to play with. You get me? So they already know. In the professional side, I got to conduct myself a certain way. If I'm asked to speak on something, I have to carry it a certain way. But when I come on my live and being on Facebook and knowing I have a lot of Democrats and Republicans over here, and I have a lot of church members over here, I have a lot of NA friends over here, and a lot of y'all do in NA, y'all call me pastor. I already know. We know. But then when you see me like this is like the war zone as far as fighting that battle towards corruption, towards good and evil. Still the same person. I'm still the same person. It's just you have to speak accordingly. But over here, when they see me, they be like, whoa. I'm telling you, when you see somebody and you know their love and their compassion is really for the people, they be like, darn, because they know they can't play with you. They know they can't play with you. You can come at me any kind of way you want, but if I spot you for who you is, you're going to get away from me. Oh, why you got to say that? What the heck I want you to look? I lived a corrupt lifestyle. I ain't trying to live it like this. Bye. Go over there with that. Serious. Yeah, bye. See you. Have a nice day. But y'all be like, okay. Let me stop messing with y'all. Come on, y'all know Big Mouth Bald Black Dude Steve. Y'all know it. I stand firm on my morals, my values, my principles. If y'all want to call it ego, you want to call it pride in a negative way, you can. You can. See what I put up there? You can. Because guess what? I looked it up. Because in my case, when I'm sounding real prideful, or you might think it's the ego in that sense, and you want to put it in a negative way, that's courage and confidence to me. That's standing firm on what I believe, and you want to crush me down for it? But then this is what it taught me too. And this is what I want y'all to know. Because I'm standing firm on my morals, my values and my principles, because I'm standing firm, it's not to belittle you. Okay. Because it also talked about how it can be unhealthy. And see, being unhealthy is thinking I'm more superior than anybody else. That's not the case with me, family. Now, I might say little stuff like, almost say stupid stuff, right? I might say little stuff like, I'm more handsome than you. I'm nicer looking than you. I'm more prettier than you. I'm more gorgeous than you. But I'll say stupid stuff like that because of the self-esteem, right? And I be building up my self-esteem, but then I tell myself, Steve, now you know you ain't gorgeous. You know you ain't sexy. That's the women. Well, why can't I be good? That's how I argue with myself. But what I'm saying is just building up the self-confidence. You get me? It's not to belittle nobody. It's not to think I'm better than any of y'all. No. It's to let y'all know that this low bottom, and I got my TikTok thing turned around. This low bottom, no good dope fiend with 33 years clean. I thank God. I thank God. Because when I look back over my life and the stuff that I was doing in the community, destroying the community, I thank God he sent me back to help build back up. He said, who can better help my people, Steve? Physically, I can't be everywhere like I used to. I can't. I'm a little bit older now. There's times I want to run, go see Cherie, run, go hang out with Christina Flowers, run. I definitely want to go see Uncle T because I love what he's doing with the young men and the women. Damon Cooper, I met him some years ago when he was with City Hall, but y'all know he's doing his own thing now, right? So I met him, Joe Gamble. I went down to YMCA to meet him, and he wasn't there the day I went, but that's an ex-football player. But it's a lot of the people, men, I'm talking about men, that's doing excellent jobs in Baltimore City. I met throughout this process, but it's quite a few that I haven't. I met Lisa Moloch. I met Val, Big Val from Hugs Don't Shoot. I met Erica, talked with them and everything. So I know the work a lot of them are doing. But I can't be everywhere. Like they might have an event up Emerson. Send me the date and everything. And I'll copy it down. I'm going to go give them some support. That's what my mind say. But my body might say, no, you can't go. Marlo Hartgrove, you know I love you, bro. From the FACE program. That's my partner, my business partner. He's a powerful spiritual inspiration for me. Bishop Carrington. It's a lot of y'all out there. My church members, Dr. Hall, Dr. Daniels, Steve, the ministers, the deacons. A lot of them I knew before we became ministers, deacons, and before some of them got their doctorate degree in theology. Still at the Church of the Redeemed. I'm just doing what God called me to do. This is my platform. This is where he wants me to run off at my mouth and encourage the people and empower the people and strengthen his people. It's not to cut the people down, but the ones that tend to want to control, imprison us, enslave us, oppress us. And you know, anytime any individual try to oppress you, that's a form. Yeah. All right, leave it right there though. Gotta talk nice. But look, even Alfonso, you just threw me off a little bit when you sent that right there. You just threw me off a little bit. When I was getting ready to say, just went pew. Certain people you gotta still keep at arm's reach, but respect them. Is that the best way to put it? But look, so many, and I'm not gonna lie, in their own way, and I can't knock it. Because once he had told me a while back, right? Everything has its place in this world. And like I said, during that time, I couldn't understand why. I'm looking at the good and evil, but I'm not looking at the good and evil. I'm looking at it, but let me just say I didn't have a clear. And when I made a statement out my mouth, and that's when he helped me to understand that everything has its purpose in life. And it's going to go back to, it's a season and it's a time for everything. It's a time to be born, and it's a time to unalive. It's a time to plant, and it's a time to pluck up what you planted. So everything has its purpose. And the reason why I'm saying that again, family, it's a time to be evil, nasty, mean, corrupt. And if that's where you find your joy, your pleasure at, that's fine. I lived that life. I choose not to live like that today. So no matter how people might see me, no matter how people might take me, that's you. But number one, when it comes to dealing with our politicians, and they already know. They already know. And when I say they already know, I'm talking about the ones that tends to create laws that hinders the people. The ones that create laws to help empower the people, encouraging the people, motivating the people, then we got your back. And I'm going to say this to you, Alfonso, since you're still right there. I'm going to show y'all the difference between politics. They only create laws. You see Alfonso down there? He creates solutions to the laws that they put out. Because once they start creating laws, family, it's only two things it could do. Either hinder the people or cause them to grow. Like I said, Alfonso is in the community. He works a lot with the homeless and the less fortunate population. And his goal, like me, like Christina, all of us that does this, is to help them turn their lives around. Some people play a little hard, but I know some people, like Alfonso, I know where their heart is at. Their passion, no matter what. He's for the people. And that's not to knock nobody, because their purpose and their mission is all right with them. But I know the heart. So if I mixed you up just now, and I'm gonna say it again. Politicians only create laws. They do not have solutions towards the laws that they create. That's all I'm saying. It's people like myself that start programs. It's people like Christina Flowers that start grassroots programs, intervention stuff. It's people like those that have nonprofits that's in the community on the ground level that's creating solutions towards the laws that they create. I didn't understand that at first. They can create all the laws they want. It's us that's on the grassroots level. There you go. There you go, Alfonso. That's why I said it. He said it takes community efforts. That's why I said it. Because, thank you, Alfonso, because now, like I said, and I'm looking at Christina Flowers, right, and everything she do, like protesting and she do rallies, mainly if she go for the politician like a mobile, and they're going to tell me, Steve, you need to chill. I said, who you think I got it from? Because Christina come off of their butts, but she don't see her stuff, but she going to tell me I need to be more nice. I said, who you think I got it from, Christina? You. But hey, Fonzo, she bust out laughing when I told her that. I said, you get on your radio and you. I said, how you think I started learning how to be like this? Because of you. she ain't do nothing but bust out laughing, Alfonso, because I said, you come for them. But look, we all have our ways of doing stuff. But I'm going to tell y'all, I learned. I ain't gonna lie, Alfonso. I'm gonna say this. You gotta play the game. You get it? So what I learned in the process, right? The same people that you want to help you to improve what's going on in the community, man, y'all gotta learn to come together. You get it? You gotta learn to come together. I know people that's trying to get contracts in Baltimore City, black people. And the city is holding them back. Certain politicians, Alfonso, won't give them the contract to do the work, right? You said JFK gave us the tools when he told us to ask what we can do for our country. Come on, Alfonso. I received several phone calls, Alfonso, since I've been down. One, somebody was trying to get this land to redevelop. And they called me and said, I need you to team up with me, because I need you to talk to the politicians, because they know you. So I don't need that money. I got my own money. I just need the land. I said, no problem. So I was waiting for them to call me to let me know, basically give me a little heads up what you're trying to do, you know, so I already know who to go to. I said, call me so we can sit down and talk. I'm waiting on you. But rather than this person, I ain't gonna go too deep, but take it from there, Alfonso. Then I get another call about reparation. I want you to join our team. Told me everything that they trying to do within the next 3 years for the what's this 2026? This 2026. So for the new for the election in 2028. I said okay, because I'm looking at the time frame we have, right? That's all you got to do is sit down and help me understand what you're trying to do. Once I get the big picture, here I go. Here I go. I already know. I can promote it here. We can do it here on the broadcast network. We can have our own little show things. I said the only thing I need is a production team to run the talk show and the team talk. Well, I need a production team to produce everything. Schedule us the time frame we supposed to do it. We can do it here because this is a live stream. Broadcast network. So we ain't got to come up with nothing else. We got it right here. I said we can use my platform. I'm waiting for them too. They called me. We need your help. You big mouth boy, black dude. And Alfonso, I'm going to say this because I know you into go, because I know you ground level. Just about all the people that's down in City Hall that you know we can go to with people and get them to approve certain things. And I'm throwing it around in that sense because I know you on the ground level and I know the work y'all do. And that's what happens when you deal with certain politicians. You kind of know who to go to, what department they heads up, and that's a beautiful feeling. When you know who's who and who's there, when you know the minority who does the minority contracts, who does, you know, the contracts over here, when you know what specific politician in that area. And guess what? You see, I ain't saying no names because I know you know a lot of them too, Alfonso. I know you know. So Baltimore City, I know we still got a lot of work to do, family. But I'm going to tell you what I started seeing too. You might have a specific area that tends to, the criminal behaviors is a little bit more out of whack. They will make it seem like it's the whole freaking city. And we know it's not. It's certain areas that, yes, it's going to take the community. As a community organizer, I already know it's the community, like what Alfonso said. It takes community effort. It's the community. And most of the people that's out there destroying the community is normally your children, your nieces, your nephews, your family members. Because I know when we was coming up, couldn't know anybody come in our community and destroy our community. We didn't play that. And I'm quite sure it's the same way today. We ain't gonna just let no outsiders come in and take control over our communities. So it's normally your own family members in the community tearing this apart. And if you are afraid to address your sons and your daughters and stuff, now that's when you call on the village. Come together as a whole. If you feel intimidated by your own child, I be goddamn. That's why I got me some belts. And mine's are grown. Bet not make, come on, try me. I threaten them. And the moment they say, well, I call 911, I'll be like, never mind. John Bullock, what's up, baby? You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing crazy about my buddy. I don't know him like that. But I used to live up near the area that he was council member in, back up near Norfolk Longwood and all that. And my friend knew John. Well, no John. Let me stop. I said knew John Bullock. I'm gonna tell you, when I went down with Harlem Park that day, I went down with the Harlem Park Theater people that own that little block. John Bullock was one of the ones that sat in there, and they made the spot a historical place. And I haven't seen John Bullock in years. I was glad to see him too, because I haven't seen him in years, Alfonso. And I'm gonna tell you, if his name John Bullock, oh come on, ooh, I'm trying to think of the other one, the real slim other one. I think he lived on Utah Linden Avenue. But John Bullock was one of the real skinny ones. Then we got Stokes was another one. But I'm trying to think of the other guy, because he used to come to Communities United, but I think he lived somewhere like either Utah or Linden Avenue, because you know a lot of them had to have houses in the city. Hey, Moni. Wait a minute, let me turn. Okay, I want to turn this up. Make sure that they can hear a little bit. But look, Alfonso, I'm gonna get ready to end this one on my live stream, my broadcast. I try not to make it too long. Just long enough where I think people might watch it. I call myself doing 45 minutes, but I'll end up going past the 45 minutes. So, but I don't want to make them too long no more. Just get in, get out. And I appreciate you, bro, for the happy birthday and everything.
Happy birthday.
That was the 20th. Don't try it. That's 5 days ago. I'm 5 days older now. Wait a minute, because I'm talking to one of my on my broadcast network. Somebody texting me, and I was responding back to their texts while I was talking. But yeah, so that we can take it from here, family. That's why I'm gonna get ready to end this one over here. Because I don't want to make it too long. But love you, bro, and looking forward to seeing you soon. Look, I seen you on your bike the other day, right? I keep saying I'm gonna get a bike, Fonzo. I've been walking though. I've been walking a lot, trying to build back up that energy. Plus, I weigh 187 pounds now, Alfonso, and I know you lost a lot of weight too. So I'm trying to. All right, family. Tell Christina Flowers I said I love her and I miss her. All right, bro. Take care. Yeah, I wanted to end this.